Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to also share, like, and comment.
Fellow citizens, my name is Binwell Mpundu, elected Member of Parliament for Nkana. My conversation with you this morning is around the price of fuel. You know that fuel runs or is the lifeline of our economy. Without fuel, our economy would crumble down. Why is the price of fuel so high in Zambia today? Nishu mutengo belele so high uwa fuel. You remember very well, fellow citizens, that our president, the Republican president, not long ago, had informed the nation that the reason why the price of fuel was expensive back in the days was because, according to him, PF used to add a 3 kwacha pa mtengo wa fuel. 3 kwacha? That's what he used to say. There were middlemen that used to connive with the PF to add the 3 kwacha. That's what our president used to say back in the days. So he used to promise us that he will remove all those and then we'll have, very affordable prices of fuel. Interestingly, it has turned out today that the UPND are adding 10 kwacha instead of 3, 10 kwacha. Because government decided to engage a company to supply fuel, which company is selling government at 10 kwacha more than what the other company would have been selling to government. Now let's go back to history a little bit. Let me remind you. In the wisdom of Keke, Kenneth Kaunda, to make Zambia's fuel stable or energy secure, Keke established 2 companies, Indeni and Tazama. Indeni used to be a refinery. It's a refinery company. Tazama is a pipeline that would transport the crude oil from Dar es Salaam into Ndola to Indeni. So at any given time when government would buy crude oil, government would then, the ship that government would buy would dock in Dar es Salaam, pump the crude oil into the Tazama pipeline, and the Tazama would transport this crude oil into Ndola, into Indeni, to be separated to give us diesel, petrol, kerosene, which is paraffin, and heavy fuels. Heavy fuels, HFO, was then being sold to Ndola Energy, and Ndola Energy would use this fuel to make electricity or to produce electricity, about 100 megawatts of electricity. 100 megawatts is a lot of power. So ukufumia 100 megawatts from the grid, it's a big setback for the electricity subsector. So, Indeni had a problem. Let me explain. Because Indeni just used to have a separator that was specifically separating a particular crude oil. But you see, there was other crude oil that we could access, say, from Angola and other areas, that unfortunately Indeni could not manage to separate. So it needed a cracker, a hydro cracker. Now, to get a hydro cracker was an expensive undertaking. Many countries have avoided going that route. But experts had advised governments that the best way to avoid a cracker was to increase the capacity of the pipe, as well as to modernize Indeni. It will still give us the expected result as if we had a cracker. When the New Dawn came into power, they decided, no, it was not a viable undertaking. They decided to completely do away with Indeni. In the process, they killed Ndola fuel. And therefore, we lost 100 megawatts from Ndola fuel, plus the employees there were sent into chaos. So, government then awarded a contract to change the use of the Tazama pipeline from transporting crude oil to transporting finished fuels. This contract was awarded to Agrofuel. Agrofuel is a company owned by Mr. Shash Patel. You know about Shash Patel and the relationship with our friends who are in power today. Okay? So this contract was given to Shash. Now, there was a statutory instrument that was signed in 2023 rather, which was to convert this pipeline into from carrying crude oil to carrying finished product. But this pipeline was going to be an open access pipeline, meaning that if government engages any company to supply fuel to government, they can use this pipeline. Fast forward, in October 2023 last year, government engaged a company to supply fuel to government. This company was called Devon Oil Zambia Limited, working together with Glencore Energy of the UK. This company was going to supply fuel to government at 19.5 kwacha per litre. 19.5 kwacha per litre. This price meant that we would have actually been buying a price at 1.9 kwacha cheaper than what ERB had set as the agreed price. 1.9 kwacha cheaper. That is what Devon would have been giving us, working together with Glencore. Now, the energy minister, Mr. Kapala, decided to cancel this contract, erroneously so, and decided to then award single-handedly or single-sourced the same company called Agrofuel. So vapoke contract, kuli contractor uri company yali nokutupela cheaper fuel, vapela Agrofuel, who was then selling government at 10 kwacha more. Chingilileni Mwine, who was supposed to be buying fuel at 10 kwacha cheaper at 19.5 last year in October. Then you engage a company selling at 10 kwacha more. Which is why Dr. Kafula Mwanga is saying government is an enemy of itself. The Ministry of Energy is sabotaging the energy, stability. So, colleagues, these are answers that now, these are issues that we must now be discussing. Why would government award single source a company to be supplying, the only company awarded by government to be supplying fuel to the Republic of Zambia, and the only company using that strategic asset called Tazama? And this company, despite using the infrastructure of government, is selling government at 10 kwacha more than what Devon would have been selling government. Of course, there were explanations. No, Devon had hit a snag. There are logistical challenges. That is why even the minister abrogated the law, because the Procurement Act does not allow the minister to single source, better still to cancel a contract. But there's a provision that in emergencies, the minister can do that. So they gave the insinuation that Devon had, faced challenges. So they needed to act fast. That's why they single-sourced Agrofuel. Now, if you speak to Devon, that is not true. But this is what confronts us as a Zambian people. Buying expensive fuel as opposed to cheaper fuel. Better still, why would you allow the monopoly of the fuel sector, umuntu eulebomfia for strategic, asset of government to be transporting this fuel, disadvantaging the other players in the sector, the other oil marketing companies who could as well be using this? So government was supposed to spread out, tender out the supply of fuel, so that, because when there's competition, you get a favorable price, but you decide to single source. And you give a company that is selling you 10 kwacha more. And here we are saying, no, we have no control over fuel prices. Come on, you have no control. How? When you are single sourcing a company that is actually going to sell you at a 10 kwacha more. But this is not the only story. ERB now adds an additional cost they call price marking, or rather fuel marking. So when fuel enters Zambia, ERB has to mark it. To mark that fuel, they add a cost, which is added to you as a consumer. And people must be wondering, how can we bring the price of fuel down? The only way you can bring the price of fuel down is to stop awarding contracts to friends and give people that can give you fuel at a cheaper price. Stop the unnecessary additions of costs like the fuel marker. It will bring down the cost of fuel. That strategic asset you have converted into transporting a finished product can effectively be used by different stakeholders that will be able to supply government at a cheaper price. Nani watulo wa mzambi wa kwe, but we can even be wondering, but you are the ones who's creating the problems. This is why fuel is expensive in Zambia. It's because we contracted a company, single company supplying government. The amount of fuel we are having at any given time is not sufficient to last us even a month. The reason why Indeni was created by Bakaunda and Tazama was to give us fuel stability in terms of price and availability of the commodity. Because when a ship docks that is carrying our crude oil, it had sufficient stocks to last us 3 months of our fuel needs. When Indeni produces that fuel, when a ship docks, it will give us 3 months of our fuel needs. Such that Nankwabe Nkondoko Turefunya fuel will still have 3 months to recover. That in the process enabled us to have a shock or to absorb the shock of any changes in the price of fuel on the international market. If today the price of fuel on the market increases, if we will still be dealing with the stock we have, the 3 month stock we have, meaning government tekulutabalo mutengo wa mafuta. Today you are having this monthly review, of price, the price of fuel. It's because you move over hand to mouth. Muleshtafe every time you need. Takwabe chalo chikwata ama reserves. No wonder even the previous government decided to increase the storage capacity of our fuel by building more storage facilities in Solwezi to supply the Northwestern. In Lusaka, there's a fuel storage facility built in the last government. In Mansa, in Mpika, in the Eastern Province, and I want to believe also in the Western Province in Mongo, there must be such facilities. That would have pushed our storage capacity from 3 months to even more than 6 months. That is what a country needs. You need to be energy secure. You need to be fuel secure at any given time. Government cannot say we are going to stay away from the energy sector because we have no business in business. Takwabe chalo, any government that stays away from the fuel sector. Because you cannot depend completely on the private sector. Private sector temu nobe. Government needs to still have a hand. That is why Bakaunda in his wisdom created Indeni, created Tazama, and the previous government even built extra storage capacities. So let us stop wondering what is happening to Zambia. It's because of poor decisions that are not backed by technical advice. So who is eating that 10 kwacha fuel to lesh typhoon? Nani? This government must be able to give us that answer. Who is getting that 10 kwacha on top? Because we would have been buying fuel 10 kwacha cheaper. Colleagues, we have agreed. We have agreed that we must now be issue-based. Anyone who decides to engage me on this matter must bring facts and issues. Don't concoct issues around Devon. Devon had the capacity to supply us the fuel. Not to bobu fimulebe patabakwete bid security yo shan yuko. But you mwana kwa tualishishita sana Zambia. Wandin. This is what we have in Zambia. A case to kwete bane. Poor decisions. Poor decisions. Selfish decisions. Just to support friends. Tapadi kotuala yange chalo. That's now up to you to judge. Natotera.
What's up? My name is Ken Dumbo, the MC with the sauce. Don't forget to subscribe to J Cool.
Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, J Cool, and turn on the notification bell, cause I'm gonna see you in the next video.